Lancashire Fusiliers. Sapper F. Watts, Royal Engineers. Private G. Hall, Gloucestershire Regiment. Lance Sergeant J. Hazleton, Royal Fusiliers. Private B. E. Edwardson, East Surrey Regiment. Private W. A. Hendy, Somerset Light Infantry. Private T. Rothwell, the Loyal North Lancashire Regiment. Private G. W. Hudson, Royal Fusiliers. Private J. Bell, Durham Light Infantry. Private J. M. Rees, the King's Liverpool Regiment. Private W. Bushby, Durham Light Infantry. Private F. A. Hogg, Gloucestershire Regiment. Sergeant H. H. Loveday, Norfolk Regiment. Private J. Kennedy, King's Own Royal Lancaster Regiment. Private G. H. Pitman, Gloucestershire Regiment. Lance Corporal W. Battersby, the Loyal North Lancashire Regiment. Private J. E. Hirst, Duke of Wellington's West Riding Regiment. Private W. J. Dixie, London Regiment. Private W. Hill, Worcestershire Regiment. Private G. Jackson, Sherwood Foresters, Notts and Derby Regiment. Lance Corporal A. F. Norton, Royal Engineers. Engine Room Artificer, 3rd Class, C. W. Wilkinson, Royal Navy. Private J. Burnell, Northumberland Fusiliers. Private J. Callaway, Machine Gun Corps, Infantry. Lance Corporal W. Bamford, Royal Fusiliers. Private F. Stockley, Worcestershire Regiment. Private H. E. Ellerbeck, Army Cyclist Corps. Private G. E. Perry, Northumberland Fusiliers. Private C. Longdon, Sherwood Foresters, Notts and Derby Regiment. Private C. B. Hall, King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry. Private Z. Scott, Durham Light Infantry. Private H. C. Bishop, Royal Army Medical Corps. Private F. Mason, Royal Scots. Lance Corporal R. F. Prince, Duke of Cornwall's Light Infantry. Petty Officer Stoker W. G. Lardner, Royal Navy. Private R. J. Footman, Worcestershire Regiment. Lance Corporal W. Manville, York and Lancaster Regiment. Private H. Day, Leicestershire Regiment. Private O. Rainsford, Suffolk Regiment. Sergeant R. J. Hands, Royal Horse Artillery. Private T. Setterington, West Yorkshire Regiment, Prince of Wales Own. Lance Corporal W. Norgan, London Regiment, Royal Fusiliers. Gunner A.E.C. Moreton, Royal Garrison Artillery. Private F. Hill, Worcestershire Regiment. Lance Corporal J. Collier, Gloucestershire Regiment. Private E. L. Lindridge, Oxford and Bucks Light Infantry. Private L. Greatrix, Gloucestershire Regiment. Private H. J. B. Cracknell, Lincolnshire Regiment. Lance Corporal A. E. Hellier, London Regiment, London Scottish. Private R. Buxton, Machine Gun Corps, Infantry. Private W. L. Hampton, West Yorkshire Regiment, Prince of Wales Own. Lance Corporal E. V. Newham, Royal Fusiliers. Rifleman A. Moore, King's Royal Rifle Corps. Rifleman S. T. L. Dickerton, London Regiment, the Rangers. Private E. Clark, Duke of Wellington's West Riding Regiment. Private F. Bridger, East Surrey Regiment. Private E.O. Davison, Yorkshire Regiment. Private W.C. Ely, Manchester Regiment. Private F. Rourke, Welsh Regiment. Private A. Theobald, Bedfordshire Regiment. Gunner W.J. Mason, Royal Field Artillery. Private V.F. Arnott, London Regiment. Lance Corporal J. White, Bedfordshire Regiment. Rifleman E. W. Layton, London Regiment, 1st Surrey Rifles. Private F. Gibson, Bedfordshire Regiment. Private J. H. Battersby, Scots Guards. Private H. Noakes, Essex Regiment. Corporal W. Adlington, York and Lancaster Regiment. Private P. J. O'Keefe, Royal Irish Regiment. Private S. Mackay, Australian Infantry. Private M. L. Crompton, Australian Machine Gun Corps. Private T. E. Elif, Norfolk Regiment. Private E. F. Elif, Border Regiment. Private J. Stacey, East Lancashire Regiment. Corporal H. Rowe, Northumberland Fusiliers. Corporal E. Green, Royal Field Artillery. Sergeant J. Kettle, Royal Warwickshire Regiment. Private C. H. Bays, Sherwood Foresters, Notts and Derby Regiment. Private D. Armit, Highland Light Infantry. Private F. Spray, East Yorkshire Regiment. Private G. Davis, Queen's Own, Royal West Kent Regiment. Private J. Little, Queen's Own, Royal West Kent Regiment. Private W. H. Connolly, Hampshire Regiment. Private R. Cow, Royal Scots. Private T. E. Curry, Seaforth Highlanders. Private G. R. Guy, Grenadier Guards. Private H. Crowther, Devonshire Regiment. Gunner A. T. Hammond, Royal Field Artillery. Private G. White, Royal Scots. Private E. R. Allen, Grenadier Guards. Sergeant A. Wilcox, South Staffordshire Regiment. Private T. W. Greenham, Royal Fusiliers. Corporal F. V. Owen, London Regiment, 1st Surrey Rifles. Private W. J. Brailsford, Royal Inniskilling Fusiliers. Gunner R. H. Temple, Canadian Field Artillery. Private E. Morley, 5th Canadian Mounted Rifles Battalion. Private T. Manning, Northamptonshire Regiment. Gunner R. Clark, Royal Horse Artillery. Private K. Morris, Newfoundland Regiment. Private G. Seagrave, Sherwood Foresters, Notts and Derby Regiment. Private R. L. Watson, Durham Light Infantry. Private F. Watson, Lincolnshire Regiment. Private J. Dunleavy, West Yorkshire Regiment, Prince of Wales Own. Private A. Bradshaw, Northumberland Fusiliers. Private T. E. Horn, Northumberland Fusiliers. Private I. J. A. Spinks, Norfolk Regiment. Private T. H. Pope, Essex Regiment. Private T. H. Roberts, Manchester Regiment. Lance Corporal G. H. Farrell, Machine Gun Corps, Infantry. Private F. C. Challinor, King's Shropshire Light Infantry. Private J. D. Rees, Monmouthshire Regiment. Lance Corporal W. G. Jones, Welsh Guards. Lance Corporal W. Tunstall, Northumberland Fusiliers. Private F. Porter, Yorkshire Regiment. Private J. Tunstall, Durham Light Infantry. Private W. J. Price, London Regiment, Prince of Wales' own Civil Service Rifles. Private J. A. Patterson, Royal Army Medical Corps. Corporal E. Murphy, East Yorkshire Regiment. Rifleman A. Nelson, Royal Irish Rifles. Rifleman J. L. Merrick, the King's Liverpool Regiment. Private F. E. Friend, Machine Gun Corps, Infantry. Private C. Moffat, King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry. Private W. C. Lees, Royal Fusiliers. Corporal B. Hutchinson, Royal Field Artillery. Private H. J. Hutchinson, Royal Warwickshire Regiment. Lance Corporal A. Matthews, the Gloucestershire Regiment. Private D. Morrow, Yorkshire Regiment. Rifleman H. Askew, London Regiment. Corporal C. R. Kidman, Machine Gun Corps, Infantry. Corporal J. E. Poole, Royal Garrison Artillery. Corporal T. H. Bellis, Durham Light Infantry. Corporal F. E. Gubbins, the Queen's Royal West Surrey Regiment. Private W. J. Darbourne, 5th Canadian Mounted Rifles Battalion. Private C. W. Grayson, Duke of Wellington's West Riding Regiment. Private J. Hilton, Lancashire Fusiliers. Private J. Berry, Royal Warwickshire Regiment. Lance Corporal F. J. Smith, East Surrey Regiment. Rifleman G. McClaw, Royal Irish Rifles. Private H. R. Cooper, 5th Canadian Mounted Rifles Battalion. Private W. Mew, Canadian Infantry. Private N. H. C. Doney, Royal Warwickshire Regiment. Private J. H. Burton, Lancashire Fusiliers. Private S. J. Shopland, Machine Gun Corps, Infantry. Private T. J. Jacobs, Royal Warwickshire Regiment. Private D. J. Thomas, Royal Fusiliers. Private C. A. Hunt, 12th Prince of Wales Royal Lancers. Private C. H. Cox, Northumberland Fusiliers. Private A. Danes, Norfolk Regiment. Lance Corporal F. Oliver, Northumberland Fusiliers. Private D. Tarring, Leinster Regiment. Private P. Sexton, Leinster Regiment. Private F. Barber, King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry. Rifleman R. W. Connor, London Regiment, Queen Victoria's Rifles. Private F. Roper, Royal Buckinghamshire Hussars. Private R. G. Scruton, Suffolk Regiment. Private W. F. Stroud, Oxford and Bucks Light Infantry. Private A. F. Taunt, 14th King's Hussars. Private H. J. Taunt, West Kent Yeomanry, Queen's Own. Private E. Gibbons, Essex Regiment. Corporal H. J. Neville, Gloucestershire Regiment. Private K. S. Mayhew, Royal Army Medical Corps. Rifleman A. Moore, Royal Irish Rifles. Private G. A. Faraday, Worcestershire Regiment. Lance Corporal W. Atson, Cheshire Regiment. Private J. W. Collier, Sherwood Foresters, Notts and Derby Regiment. Private F. Whitehead, Cheshire Regiment. Private W. J. Ward, Royal Enniskilling Fusiliers. Gunner R. Baines, Royal Field Artillery. Lance Lance Corporal H.E.A. Roberts, the Queen's Royal West Surrey Regiment. Private A. Horn, Royal Scots Fusiliers. Sapper E. Haythorne, Royal Engineers. Private T. McRae, Border Regiment. Rifleman F. W. Soule, London Regiment, City of London Rifles. Private H. P. Stewart, Oxford and Bucks Light Infantry. Company Quartermaster Sergeant E. Roberts, Essex Regiment. Sapper J. W. Ball, Royal Engineers. Private W. Austin, King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry. Corporal A. R. Tots, King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry. Private C. Coates, Yorkshire Regiment. Private W. H.